Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.GG Invite Highlander cast. We're in Season 22, Week 2, watching #RR take on the Dumb Kids on Koth Product. I am Alto, joined by Zag, to my side, Dolphin behind the camera. As always, Zag, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Excited for some Highlander. Monday night's always a fun one, and we got what we think is going to be a close one. It's still early in the season. A couple of 1-1 teams here, and this could set a very important precedent moving forward into the season because for both these teams who fancy themselves playoff teams, right? Every match point matters towards that first seed or the second through third, fourth seeds to see if you can get that better seeding coming forward into playoffs. So we'll see who's going to take this one. I really don't know. It's product, so anything can happen.
Yeah, no, and let's run down the rosters real quick so that people know who we are talking about. On the side of RR, it will be Maxi on Scout, Jerry on Soldier, Cham on Pyro, Humphrey on Demo, Jack X232 on Heavy, Catwhiff on Engineer, Spaghetti on Medic, Buko on Sniper, and Taiga on Spy.
And on Dumb Kids is going to be Poseidon on Scout, Rain on Soldier, Fuzzy on Pyro, Crump on Demo, Took on Heavy, Lucky on Engineer, Foxy on Medic, Brian on Sniper, and Jay-Z on Spy.
Absolutely. So as we both said, two very good rosters coming in here. I mean, it's product, right? So I think the cheat sheet is you look at the snipers, but then you see Buko versus Brian, and you're like, well, that's not really one that you can call that easily. Jay-Z on Spy on Dumb Kids likely to make an impact, but Taiga, someone we saw have a lot of good impact coming, really, I think, making Invite, not debut at this point, but really kind of settling into Invite over the past few seasons. Lots of big names kind of coming back all around here. So I guess, Zag, I'll throw it to you real quick. Where are you falling on looking at these two rosters?
I mean, just from a pure experience perspective, Dumb Kids has the likes of Poseidon and Rain who've been playing forever. Brian, Jay-Z, also no strangers to high-level invite pick class play as well. Other than that, I'm not seeing too many long-time standouts. I know there's tons of individual seasons of invite XP at this point, but if I'm looking for the big playmakers, I really do feel like there's more star power on Dumb Kids coming forward.
I think I would have to agree, and really I think the kind of factor I'm looking at as a mitigant there is Buko. I know I said that sniper matchup's hard to call, but I think looking at it, if I had to pick one, I'd probably... If I had to pick one, I would probably go Buko if I needed to.
Well, he is going to need to pick it up and do really good tonight if he wants to get his team across the finish line, and it is product, so first to 4, maximum of 7 rounds. Match points could go either way on this one, right? It could be 4-0, it could be 4-3, and then it's a very big difference in result when you're looking at the standings at the end of the season. So every round does matter. So we've seen on product time and time again, a team can be losing, getting stomped, and then one player, most of the time it's a sniper, has a pop-off round and solo wins it for their team. Maybe Bugo can do one of those, maybe 2.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to count out Humphrey either, someone that I'm not sure has had too much success really making it into high end, but always a high impact player whenever he's in the server here. So matching up against Crump, I think with a lot of the cases you'd look at the class v class here, you'd kind of lean Dumb Kids, but not to any extent where you're like, oh, it's a runaway. So I think Humphrey can easily come out, have a strong game, really make a lot of impact here. And then, I mean, Taiga as well, I think, always a wild card, but we are live, so coming into this, it will be RR on red, Dumb Kids on blue, week 2 product. Let's get into it.
Yep, let's see which Devilman gets the advantage on the mid rollout. Neither of them are going too fast, opting to walk from the house, both sides. More clumped on the right side are RR right now, trying to walk across the point onto Dogbread, doing a lot of damage onto this combo players, but there's a pick class coming in. Buko goes down instantly to Jay-Z's Ambi of all things, and now a lot of frags coming in. Hit scan from 2, going to be cleaning up Cham over in the connector, and now more players alive for Dumb Kids is going to make it easy for them to walk on the point here.
You heard that headshot right away. I'm started looking for the snipers in the kill feeds, but no, as we said, it is
second one as well.
Jay-Z on that Ambi. Yeah,
the real sniper
as well.
Most headshots
Clearly.
so far.
No points for either sniper on that mid, only Jay-Z finding those. And with that dominant mid, now Dumb Kid's going to be looking to take presence on point, playing a little bit further back. Taiga has crossed behind, but gonna get caught out as Uber is coming out from Foxy. Gonna go in, will be an exchange on both sides, but better on the
Rain has
team
really
right
good
now.
positioning here, but he's going to jump back in the meantime. Frax coming in onto Maxi, going down. Is that scout for our cleanup? It's going to be very hard here. Terms and Tuke are going to be walking forward, though. The hit scan duo cleaning up these players in the pocket. Here comes the combo, trying to do more work, and a great fadeaway pipe from Crump. Gonna get that kill onto Spaghetti, but Buko replying with a headshot onto Foxy, so both medics going down. Does favor the losing team in the Uber exchange, but in the meantime, Dumb Kids holding on to the point, haven't given up a second of it.
Yeah, Spaghetti back up, I think, waiting for someone to heal, but still gonna have a decent ad over Foxy right there. Buko picking up 3 in that fight, plus then with a reflect kill, reflect pipe kill onto Crump. Gonna help really kind of clear out the presence on that point. Tuka and Brian now sitting on Cliff, really looking to deny this from a range, though. They know they have the numbers to set due to those faster spawns on the red side.
Watch out for
But
Brian,
there's the
though.
heavy peeking, lots of presence. Buko, though, finds Foxy again. They get the kill onto Humphrey, but that's going to be it. The rest of Blue falling like dominoes. Rain coming in, trying to salvage. Great surf out of Spaghetti onto Japan. Will survive that bomb. And RR now have the point, but a minute and a half off the clock for DK. You got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, Dumb Kids felt like got a little eager with their recontest. You never want to give the point over for free, but they didn't really have much ground to stand on. Their medic immediately gets sniped. A third time make it. Buko, 3 picks in a row onto Foxy, and Humphrey gonna walk forward to clean up. 3K for that demo man. The rest of the players coming in, and we can call that an extended sack where they try to walk players on the point, but losing your medic at the start is what causes that. So in the meantime, it's gonna be 100% Uber ad for RR, and they're coming back in first round quick.
Counter espionage from Jay-Z onto Taiga. Not quite sure where that happened. Must have been in the back line. Maybe even a spawn camp as he's getting caught out at spawn. Jerry trying to sniff him out, but Jay-Z with the twinkle toes gonna escape back out onto Cliff. But again, as you mentioned, yeah, those, that hat trick in a row right on to Foxy gonna be what's putting RR back into this game. As now the pressure comes in, huge damage onto Spaghetti, gonna force him out right there. Cham and Jacket's already dead. They do pick up Duke as the trade, but not too much doing. So overall, really good sequence right there for DK. Getting that damage onto Spaghetti gives Foxy the Uber advantage. Time about to be evened up, but things looking good for DK in this round.
Yeah, untimely death for Jay-Z. They're not going to be able to affect this upcoming push as everyone is back up for the side of RR. There is a sniper watching this down, and Brian going to take down Buko in that SBS. So Fox is head safe for now, but Jerry, we haven't mentioned him on a 7K, making an 8K. Jerry is doing so much work over the country side, 9K. Will Jerry get the 10? He might get a 10K immediately in round 1. Well, yeah, Mini gonna shut him down. In the meantime, doing tons of work for his team there, and RR gonna creep into the lead off of that. So, and they will get Uber ad back as well. So RR looking great now.
Yeah, huge. I mean, there's a point right where medic deaths are a little bit, unavoidable at times. But Foxy, I think, needs to tighten it up a little bit. You can't have 4 back-to-back deaths without getting an Uber point like this.
Oh my God,
Buko finds med kill number 4 of the round. Uber will get forced out.
Uber, yeah.
Knows he's cooked. Just watches WF.
They're dropping too many though. You can't drop 4 players with a free Uber. One of those may have been before the Uber got popped, but either way, it is a free Uber. Spaghetti gonna have another Uber ad, and yeah, Foxy's just domed right now by the enemy sniper. 4 deaths to sniper in 1 round on product. Very hard to win the round when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, that said, they're doing their best to fight it here. It's dry. This is a straight-on dry fight. Humphrey gonna get taken out by Brian. Buko next, and Jam. So the combo for RR going down. Spaghetti kiting back out to Cliff. So having the time lead right now, dead even Ubers for the medics, but will be forced back. So even with those deaths, DK putting up more than a fight as they're about to be just about a minute behind on the clock. If they pull together a tight defense, they can win it in spite of that.
Yep. Fox has been building pretty well, more players to kill on the point, so they will have Uber slightly sooner. Jay-Z in the backline going to be able to call all these positions. Buko hitting a headshot off of China. He's been a menace. Foxy, you're scared to peek your head out for even a millisecond with how much the sniper's been doming you, so let's see what they want to do with this. Both teams up on Uber right now. Buko going to peek off Japan, looking for an entry. He finds one to Rain, and that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, good to take out that soldier. It means that you're going to be able to just eat way less spam walking in. But the Uber now is popped out. Scout and Demo. Flash is coming out way better. Uber on the blue side, though. They kite back out. Jay-Z is going to be dead next, so Tiger gets caught.
Humphrey gets out of there. Really good jump away.
In favor of Red, yeah. Will be caught with getting sniped out. But you have those faster spawns. You're starting to get presence. Jacket's walking up the heavy. Great arrow tank on 2-2. Going to keep him alive.
Oh,
and a
minute
minute
more, though.
Can't arrow tank a sniper bullet. Jacket's now coming in, but Lucky coming in, just walking onto Jack X on Rock. Gonna take him out, and the chaos continuing right now.
And the chaos continuing favors RR because they have those faster spawns as the pushing team. They are gonna try and clean up these people in the back line. They get Rain. Google is the trade though. In the meantime, Foxy's built Uber very, very quickly, so Dumb Kids will have this in an extended overtime. In the meantime, the offense is pushing this point. Taiga's dead. These kills need to come in now before this Uber comes. Foxy gonna have 100%. They can't get onto it. It's now RR's point, but this Uber is on it. Can they get it out?
Yeah, more importantly, Spaghetti at 80. If they can stall this long enough for Spaghetti to get, things are going to be good. Yeah, but there is Jerry coming in. That's at least kills not 10 and 11 for him this round. Uber is popped out, and that will be RR taking the first round here.
Double overtime on round 1 of Product. Who knows how that goes if Dumb Kids get the touch with that Uber. They were a millisecond shy of getting it with that shininess, and instead point gets flipped and they're in desperation mode, right? So that one really just comes down to the wire, and it is going to be RR taking the 1-0 lead off of great performances from Buko and Jerry mostly.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the Soldier gap right now, 19-3 in the points in favor of Jerry. Foxy as well, not having
Sniper
a good
2, Buko's 21, Brian is 7, by the way.
Crump just got deleted into that mid, so it's Humphrey putting out damage for free.
Jack X has full connected control though. Yeah. The mid's done. Jack is going to walk forward at them. Oh, but look at this. Headshots coming forward from Jay-Z and Brian, getting some picks, but no point presence. This Heavy doing tons of work. Another one for Brian, going to pick up that demo, so point going over to RR, but they don't have players to keep up this pressure. They will just walk backwards and get their Uber.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to get that, knock some time off the cap as, big shot from Brian coming in right there. And the little bit of forward pressure looking to come out right now. I think they're going to kind of cancel that. Not really go as deep as it looked like they might have. Both meds leaving with Uber. But, ultimately getting points in 15 seconds means, you're 15 seconds you have it is 15 seconds they don't. So 30 seconds on the net. Not terrible, but, with Crump getting deleted off that, maybe you'd like to see a bigger win. That's
what a force by Rain and Jay-Z.
Force, yeah.
Yeah. Good well-timed bomb from the Soldier Spy duo, and they are going to get that forced out.
Look at Lucky in behind on China in the post right here. See if anything happens out of that, but they will get the force then out of Foxy in turn. Lucky coming in will win the NG 6 HP in a dream. Gonna get some damage on Spaghetti, but put down eventually.
Yeah, more players alive for RR here off the respawns, and they did find a really good pick onto Brian, so no sniper going to be available to hold off this repush. Ty going to be jumping down here with the help of the bomb, and that's going to be an easy pickup, I think. One revolver shot, can't hit it. Foxy's 1 HP gets to the pack. Soldier just a second too late, and they're going to lose 2 trying to go for that medic. We might see aggression from Dumb Kids here. No Uber for either side quite yet.
They lost Crump and Poseidon, though, which makes it really difficult. That said, those faster spawns means that they're going to be up. Jerry's still down, so they've got the numbers. Not unless Buko evens out the soldiers, but Brian as well. There. Yep, finds Humphrey a little bit too far forward. No demo on defense means this walk-up likely going to be free. Spaghetti just coming up on Uber, going to pop immediately. It's going to be a Pyro Uber. That's going to be Cham jumping in. Buko gets counter-sniped in the meantime, though, so they have really poor position, fight setup right now.
They're going to get out of here.
After this, Jack X going to be taken out as well. This will go over in favor of TK. Tiger coming in, going to get caught out on point. Nice melted, but Jerry coming in on the collapse as well, enough to get the Uber out of Foxy. So at least you are looking at slide out for Spaghetti.
Brian has gotten 16 points in slightly over 2.5 minutes. We called him out for getting dipped by Buko in round 1, but he's been doing the dipping right now. He's hitting everything he gets his crosshair on.
The telly was in-house. Jack X just took it and assassinated Crump in the middle of the forward hold. Jerry then also going to win the soldier fight against Rain. Both explosive classes dead right now on the side of DK, but Brian continuing to be a menace this round, finds Cham. Any bodies you can
Jay-Z
find
has great timing.
Another one.
Yep, and then Brian gets Spaghetti, Jay-Z gets Buko, and they're just getting destroyed right now. I could just get a consolation onto Terms, but it's not going to be much. 7 for Brian. This is his round. 8 make it. Brian is just making this one his.
Yeah, I'm going to need to check in PC on that one, chat. That was just absolutely turning it on.
He's surpassed Buko on the scoreboard. He had 7 points at the start of this round. He got 24. He's at 31 right now.
That's just a little bit gross. They're trying to put out Cliff, but they're just getting melted in there. Jay-Z's Ambi shows up back in the kill feed after a while. Completely unable to go out. Jack X, yep, gonna find the heavy kill, but that's about it. That does mean that you're probably much safer to now walk out. But Jay-Z in spawn, I think. Just spawn can't
The
scout
engine
with.
kill. We'll debate how useful that one is, but gets it nonetheless. It is full Uber for Foxy here, so Dumb Kids just want to stay here, hold the space, pop this Uber when they get a chance to. They are going to pop it out right now, get a kill onto Humphrey and Jerry, so no explosives for RR right now, and they're just stuck in their spawn. They've been stuck in their spawn for most of the round, what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think, you know, we've had two very different rounds thus far. One of these is where
9,
Buko's allowed
10,
to
make
play
it 10,
the
make
game.
it 10. Do what Jerry couldn't? Nah, only 9. We only see 9 kill streaks. Okay, so what I've
Highlander.
learned is you win product if your sniper crushes the other team. I
proud of
love
that
this
one?
map. I love this map.
I mean, I don't think this map has anything to do with it, frankly. Buko's not being allowed to play the game at all. Brian is completely warmed up right now. The exact opposite of what we saw. And we saw how close it was last round, despite Buko getting all those vent kills. But now when Brian does the opposite, it is, you know,
Early bomb onto
pretty
Buko
bloody.
from Rain. Rain just looking for him. Rain's hunting him. He can't quite finish the kill, but he's just forcing the sniper away. So now Brian has 3 sightlines. Going to be jumping on this rock, and they can't peek. Like, there's too much damage coming in. Buko does kill 2 on the area, but here's Rain with his flank on top of China. Finally gets the kill into Buko, and there's the pipe from Trump. Going to be taking down those people backing away. Big one onto Spaghetti, and yeah, can't play the game.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but you've got the immediate bomb onto Buko. Jay-Easy's on and wasn't even hitting headshots, just, you know, getting that perfectly accurate body shot damage, making sure Buko could not stay scoped. And while they're dealing with all the chaos in the backline, the rest of PK able to just kind of slowly strangle RR out of the mid. But Buko now answering the SPS on Brian. Jay-Z caught next, that's both pick classic. So despite the Uber diss, that thing's looking good right now for RR.
Yeah, and DK's grouped up on the right side here. They are going to spread out back to the rock, taking some damage. Tiger trying to cross point. We know where everyone is. Tuke is all alone, but he does get to help kill get the kill on Humphrey before he goes down. Here comes the Uber out of Dumb Kids here, looking for whatever cleanup they can find. They get 1. It's not that much. Spaghetti going to have a 50% Uber ad when it all comes down to it. Poseidon is fighting over here on Cliff all alone, looking for the kill on Jerry, but can't get it. He does get it. We'll trade his life for it.
But he's going to get
Wait, he actually gets another one.
At least let's get the alley-oop for it.
Yeah, 2 for 2 in the end.
That one, yeah.
Does favor RR in those trades because of the spawn timers, like we always say, but Spaghetti up on 80% Uber. RR going to try to get on the board in this round. They got basically shut out of last round. They capped mid and then didn't get it again, I believe, so we'll see if they can avoid that fate.
Taiga, though, finds Brian as he gets sniped as well, so the pick classes for RR reactivating in this round. Maybe not quite what we saw in round 1, but enough for them to get the point. Only a minute 20 off
And they
of
kept
it right
Uber,
now for
importantly.
DK, yeah.
Yeah, so Foxy on 85%. Dumb Kid's going to build this one up and then try to go in like they always do. We'll see how this defensive Uber looks for RR. I want them to try to take space with it and spread out, because if they get pushed back on the back foot here, we might see Brian come in and get some cleanup. Either way, here comes the Uber advantage. Oh, you can't
Yeah,
go
that's it.
Humphrey like
Humphrey
that.
gets dropped in the middle. That's too many people there. They're going to find Terms and Rain, though. Maxi gets sniped out
they have
as
to back
well.
up.
So number is going to be, and
that's
presence
Taiga.
really in favor of Taiga.
No.
Gets caught out. Fuzzy been doing a great job locking him out this game. Yeah, Jack-X, great arrow to save him, but not enough. That Jay-Eazy Ambi going to pick him up with the chip damage. Buko, though,
Look
onto
at Buko,
Grub.
he wants to
And
so
now another
bad.
headshot onto Tuka. Gets Brian next. Finally
7K.
cleans up Tuka, 7. And they're walking at Buko, but they
getting
cannot
walked at.
shut him
They
down
got him.
until Chads runs in. Chads up 1 into 5. Finds
Point's
the
been in
sniper
control of RR this entire time, by the way. Dumb Kids have barely not managed to cap. They finally get it. Spaghetti gonna try and leave here. Oh, getting body blocked for by Jack-X, but they need a bit more escort out here. Looks like Spaghetti will manage to keep the Uber. Brian gonna hit the Dom onto Humphrey. That's the Delman classic on product, just getting Dom by the enemy sniper, because you gotta be peeking out for damage. Either way, both teams gonna have Uber in just a second. Spaghetti charging that last bit up, and it is about a 1 minute time lead for Dumb Kids here. We'll see if they can hold on to it. Brian is up on this rock, always dangerous.
Taiga is way behind at spawn. We can maybe just take that telly out, lengthen those spawn timers. Should anyone go down, as the exchange coming out on 2 point right here, going to be far better for the blue team right there. Jay-Eazy maybe trying to get a cheeky decloak there, will not find anything.
Tiger
As the
has a
bomb
pick on Brian, yeah,
in
free sniper kill coming through. They will lose Jerry on the other side. They are going to get to Poseidon, 1 HP, being chased down. Good side by Maxi, going to be getting that cleanup, and this should be the recap coming in for the side of RR. The question is, can they get this pick onto Foxy? They're going to try, and Buko hits the shot on the way out, so that's going to be 50% to like 60% Uber ad coming for RR. They're a minute and a half in the deficit. Here comes a solo bomb from Crump, looking for what he can find, but not going to be able to find the medic, so goes down for it. Not much going.
Yeah, and that's med kill number 5 for Buko here. Despite Brian having 3 doms in that insane last round, Buko still overall above him on the scoreboard right now. But Easy, second counter espionage on
spawn camping
Taiga.
enemies. I mean, I like it if it's a free kill. In the meantime, Buko warming up once again, takes down Rain, so no soldier available to try and help force this Uber out. If you are dumb kids here, you have time to try to force it, and they will just pop it if you are RR, so gonna look to find this medic, but Foxy 50 HP out of dodge. Yeah.
He's hiding in the dispenser. The dispenser armor didn't work against the scout. Will go down, but really the only kill, I think, they pick up on that Uber. They buy time with it, but you know, nothing on to Foxy, who's now sitting on 75.
Humphrey's very pushed out here. He needs to get healed. He's 30 HP. And it means there's no stickies available. Jay-Z's being so annoying with this Hanby, and we're going to see Brian get a kill onto Buko, second onto Catwhip. Jay-Z's still annoying with this. It's pretty much a free recap. There's no presence at all for RR. And another onto Humphrey. That's 5, I think, 5 in a row.
Feels like that. Yeah, Humphrey's not really being allowed to play the game right now, as the forward hold looking to set in with only 30 seconds, and this Uber ad left. You're going to need something really big to come out of the pick classes onto Foxy right now, when they're just looking to shut you out of the point entirely. Jay's going, waiting for the cliff declose. Does get checked, but Cat was going to be the first one going down. Humphrey going to be next as they're fighting in Valley. Only 10 seconds, no one near the point. Arrow on to Lucky.
Taiga needs to go for a tap. He wants the drop, but you have to go for the tap. It's not going to be anything. They're basically wiped. And that's going to be 2 rounds for Dumb Kids in this first half, taking the lead. And yeah, Brian's very good.
Yeah, no, does pull ahead of Buko in points right at the end there. Mainly those kills on Humphrey starting to really add up, both on the scoreboard and in terms of the round score. You know, that first round going across, but Foxy, I think, smartly elects to not get sniped 4 times in a row.
Yeah,
and
just don't.
Good
just
things
don't
happen when you do that.
Easy. Yeah, there's your logs on the screen. Brian top fragging the server. Actually, 2 below Buko. So, you know, Buko's been having... His second round was slow. First round, you know, pop off, near solo carry with Jerry. Round 3, he came back, did a lot of work, but Brian is warming up into the match. He's done better and better as the time has gone on. We haven't shouted him out yet. Poseidon quietly putting in, you know, the reliable Rock Scout performance. Basically a 2.0 KDA, 400 DPM. When your Scout's doing that on product, it gets really... You feel like you have all the space in the world to work.
Absolutely, yeah, and I want to take a look at the med stats right here, because seeing Foxy 7 deaths to Spaghetti's 4 is a little bit misleading, because
I mean,
that
first round had 5 of them, no?
6 total deaths for Foxy,
so Foxy
in 1
died
round.
1 time in the last 2
so
rounds.
Yeah, 1 round in the last 2 versus 3 for Spaghetti, so, you know, it goes to show you what happens when you effectively don't have a medic over the course of a round. But I mean,
and you know the
really
thing is,
solid overall
even with their medic dying 6 times in the round 1, they took it to double overtime and were a millisecond off of blocking the point from being capped. And then we don't know what happens, right? So if you're coming double overtime when your medic has 6 deaths, then yeah, when your medic does not have 6 deaths, the rounds look like the last 2 we saw.
And I mean, admittedly, I think part of it too is that the thing with med deaths is that it's not the death that matters so much as the time spent building Uber, right? In the sense of, like, if you use Uber, die in the post, respawn, die, like, right after you walk out of spawn, respawn, then die again, that's the same as if you just respawned, built 80%, and then died. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
yes,
I mean, you got to look at the amount of Ubers popped in that round. You have the logs up. You can see how many Ubers they had in round 1.
It was 5-3 in favor of Spaghetti. So despite all of those deaths, you're only down 2 Ubers, which happened because a lot of those deaths from Foxy, well, you know, we're harping on them because from a numerical perspective, it's a lot of those were sandwiched really close together, where you could maybe argue that, like, 3 of those deaths only really cost them 1 Uber. So yes, it feels bad. Yes, it's maybe a little embarrassing, but in terms of game impact, if, you know, Foxy had walked out, built 80% in spawn, and then walked out and got sniped only the 1 time, same end result realistically. So that said, I mean, I think as we've kind of been saying, right, it takes the superhuman effort from Buko to barely win a round, when all it takes is Brian existing and suddenly RR's getting shut out of this pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a big difference in the combos, to be honest, in favor of Dumb Kids. Poseidon is one part, but Crump is putting in nearly 600 DPM. over 100 over Humphrey. Humphrey has 17 deaths, by the way, compared to
That's
9 for Crump.
insane.
Crump is having his deaths.
He's out-deathing his spy.
Yeah, he is. Oh my god. He'd be top deathing if not for the soldier, but Jerry's been putting in work, being aggressive, so like it's basically a top death from Humphrey.
Yeah, realistically, I mean, not even doing that much more damage than Jerry, who almost hit 400, which, if your soldier is going to be dying that much, at least, he's getting damage off. So I'm get that 9k in the first round, so can't really level too much criticism there. But yeah, just, I mean, how many kills did Brian had 5 onto Humphrey? I think almost all of those in that last round, it felt like.
By the way, can you check Fuzzy's kills spread? I want to see how many were on Taiga.
Only 3. 3 scout, 3 soldier, 2 NG, 3 spy.
That's a pretty good kill spread for a pyro, honestly. It means you're like actually helping kill things on flank with NG and scout and soldier kills. It means you're doing your job. You're denying the bombs, you're denying the flank, you're denying the spy. So quietly good game from Fuzzy.
Taiga's deaths were pretty evenly spread, honestly. I mean, 4 soldier, 3 pyro, 2 from basically everyone else, including Jay-Z.
Yeah, Taiga's been having a rough game. Like, not getting kills is one thing, not feeling like you're having impact is one thing, but getting spawn camped by the enemy spy twice is just like insult to injury,
Right, and I mean, part of it too, though, is just it's a matter of pressure and attention, because Fuzzy, I do think, had... Oh, well, let me check the assists. Fuzzy, yeah, if you check kills and assists, it's 7 on Taiga, but when your demo man's being removed from the game as frequently as Humphrey is, it's very easy for any invite caliber pyro to make sure you're not getting in on things.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's not an easy game for Taiga by any stretch. When your team is getting rolled on spy, it feels bad. There's just no space for you to work anywhere. Everyone's always looking for you. Like on that last very end of the half, where they're stuck in spawn, I'm watching Taiga like on the point thinking like, oh, he has to touch the point. It's like, yeah, you kind of do, but does it do anything? No. You're just stuck in the worst situations possible.
Yeah, like maybe you go try to get a back cap, hope for a miracle, but at the same time, they have Uber, you need to be that miracle in terms of getting a drop.
Yeah, it feels bad.
So
one thing I want to really praise from Dumb Kids, and I mentioned veterancy at the start of this one, how they have more of it. After Buko crushed them in round 1, and they lost a round that they feel like they could have won and shouldn't have lost in the way that they did it, immediately we saw Rain going and sitting on Buko's head any chance he got. And even though he was bottom of the scoreboard to end the round, that impact is unquantifiable by stats in a way that you just have to appreciate the decision making and the adaptation from a long-time invite veteran. You can say, oh, it's easy, enemy snipers popping off, go kill the sniper. But to make the decisions to do it and like not doing it recklessly in a way that would get you killed is just very good, solid play from Rain. The mid-fight where he jumped on Buko's head on cliff, narrowly didn't get the kill, but just made sure Buko couldn't scope in a single time on the mid. And then when his team pushes forward, he comes back in China, gets the 3k on cleanup. It's basically exactly what you want out of your soldier.
Yeah, not to mention what's great about that is, I mean, not to call bombing a sniper like some kind of revolutionary play, but it does happen the immediate mid after you just, dumpstered your team, right? Those kinds of on-the-fly adaptations that especially don't require like a halftime for you to be able to work into your play, I think is a really, really good sign and something we'd expect of someone like Rain, who's been around the block as many times as they have, just not needing to, waste. Right? This is kind of a bit of a tangent, but something we see a lot is a team will come in, maybe be the favorites, get completely dumpstered by the underdog in the first round by something somewhat preventable, and then just not take attack or not discuss it enough during the round and give up 2 rounds when they could have maybe only given up 1.
I mean, I'm gonna level with everyone watching. As you probably know, I played on a couple I played some invite spy back in the day. Some of you old heads probably played with me or against me. What I saw on teams happening is that there were teams where even ringing or playing on invite teams back then at the mid-level or low-level invite teams, you would see players do this thing where they would just autopilot their game in a way where they've done the same thing on a map like Product over and over, and whether or not they win or lose is just dependent on the things surrounding them. And I'm not going to name names, obviously, but some pretty long-standing players were doing this, where it might just been a time of the effort people were putting in at the time for a game like TF2 competitively. But it was very prevalent where people would just autopilot their game and not like adapt, even like invite players. So seeing at least now where the veterans who've stuck around and even players coming up are able to do mid-round adaptations is nice to see. Obviously, you would expect that at the top level of any video game, but consistently seeing it is always nice. And that's just my tangent about how bad it felt playing old invite sometimes. But yeah.
It's fucked up you'd say that about me, Zach.
Hey, you are only one of the issues. Some of the teams we played on had some pretty bad issues. You were often one of them, but you know.
Yeah,
if the entire house is on fire, then you're not gonna do much.
Yeah, then the carpet, then the furniture being a little moldy may not be your biggest problem.
Yeah.
As I think teams just.
I never forget the Cascade game, by the way, that made Logan quit our team.
Hey man, look, Logan played more seasons on Team King Chungus than he did on K&D the next season, and I'll take that to the grave with me.
You can do that. You do have that one.
I also wasn't the team lead on that one, so I don't take any responsibility there. That was all Syeth. But I think, teams taking a little bit longer during the halftime here. I think especially if you are RR, you have a round, right? So I don't think the thing of, oh, why did we win the first round and not the second should be pretty obvious, but it's a question of how do we protect Buko? How are we enabling our sniper? How can we look to mitigate some of what Brian's doing? Because, yes, Brian's a phenomenal player. No, he shouldn't be sniping your demo 5 times in a round, regardless of how good he is.
Yeah, and you can take it to Humphrey directly about the sniper stuff, but in reality, there's a lot of things everyone can do. Maybe, even though Jerry had a decent first half, maybe just, playing his life a bit more, focusing on that sniper instead of hard-fighting flank to the death is something. Taiga, if you're not having a good game, just, run Cloak and Dagger and sit on that sniper with a revolver, shoot him every time he scopes in. Something like that. But regardless, we are into the second half here. Dumb Kids lead RR 2-1. Let's see if they can close this one out cleanly or if RR can fight their way back in.
Yep, Jay-Z crossing Japan right now. No bombs quite yet, but the cleaver claims Terms. Taiga coming in early, caught out by Fuzzy, but that's the bomb from Jerry, now caught out by 2.
Jay-Z is just headshotting Buko in pocket, making sure he can't scope in. Will get flared for now, so has to back up, but there's Rain coming in on the concrete timing, taking down 2, and now he's onto the medic. Very low is Spaghetti. Rain gonna get hounded down, though. In the meantime, Buko finally gets the revenge on Jay-Z. Spaghetti, though, hunted by Crump. Good fadeaway pipe, gets that medic kill, and all that fighting happened on the back end of RR's house, so they really didn't have any control that mid. It started again with Jay-Z and Rain just making pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, credit where credit's due. The protection classes on DK have been really, really good against Taiga and Jerry syncing up here. I mean, it's funny that, that first round went the way it did, because really, a sniper is the only thing they can't protect Foxy against, and it was the only thing killing them in that round. This time, though, once, Buko's being harassed, as we've been saying, yeah, good bomb coming in, but I don't even think they're going to get the Uber. Foxy smartly fighting back.
Foxy had really good movement there. There was no fancy surf, right, or any, big dodges or predictions, but Foxy's movement was very subtle in a way that it dodged all the players running at them. From moving left on the rock to dodge the dome man to kiting into the house to dodge the soldier. It was just very clean. And, it's praise for walking, but that's all I can talk about right now. It was good movement. They're going to keep their Uber at.
Yeah, exactly, because that was, one of those full everything but the kitchen sink sacks coming in.
7 for 0.
Spaghetti going to be hit up quite low right here as well, yeah. But I think that the point presence is just so much better right now for DK. Taiga is in behind. Cycling some ammo right now. Gonna have to see if he can find anything coming in on to... Nope, still invisible actually, but the sniper is still activating.
Foxy surfing onto the awning, onto the aluminum sheeting, keeps that Uber charge still, and Brian gets the counter snipe onto Buko, so again, no pressure. They haven't even been forced to pop this Uber, and now they're gonna walk past the house.
Yeah, Spaghetti does have right now, though, so we should see an exchange happen quite soon. Rain may just be the one ending up to force this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gets it, but honestly, Humphrey was coming through house, so really close right there. Only slightly better Uber for the blue team right there. But Jay-Z finds Jerry Cham already dead. Numbers in favor of DK right now. Jay-Z just continuing to be a menace up on China, taking away the usual, awareness and processing power. Terms goes down, though, so Maybe the 98, something they want to walk off of. No minis.
Brian
at
is so
the very
dangerous
least.
on this roof. Doesn't get the shot. It's gonna be oh, he does get the shot. He finds Spaghetti with the body. I didn't hear the headshot sound, but he was just standing up there looking for that medic walking a pocket, and that's just a free med kill. Foxy is gonna be a bit in danger right now with this bomb coming in, and that bomb is huge from Jerry. Tons of damage onto the dog bread on point. And that should be a recap for RR once they get their point. Not even a recap, their first cap.
Yeah, exactly. Just doing his best to stall this, and stall it he does. Buys enough time for Crump to get back in. Just
Yeah, they're
not
gonna be
really
now, yeah.
being able to deal with this heavy. They
Crump gets
finally
stuck on
push
the
him
wall. He's
out.
gonna lose his life for it. That's funny. Max is on a 7K, but with 15 seconds left on the clock, they're even gonna get their spawners up. Oh my god, they have to do a full 3-minute hold right now if you're RR.
Yeah, exactly. Not looking good, but you gotta rely on Buko. First headshot gonna ring out. Not sure who that was on to, but Brian slowly walking up Valley, maybe finding some red on his screen sooner rather than later, but will be forced back. Good rockets from Jerry. Easy. Caught out, poking on Graves. But Buko finds Foxy. There it is, the kills though in favor of, actually no, they're going in RR's favor now.
Where's Spaghetti? Spaghetti's sitting back in the choke, so they're gonna drop all their players actually in exchange for keeping Spaghetti safe. That's certainly a choice, but it is gonna be Catwolf winning that NG fight to help them retain control for now. Spawns are in favor of Dumb Kids, so they are gonna get this heavy back onto the point fast. The question is, do they want to contest? They probably want to get this Uber force out of Spaghetti.
Yeah, keeping your meta alive with that 90% not a bad idea. They're even just going to take a solo full in on
Tiger
Jam.
is still on Foxy. Tiger is still on Foxy. Doesn't see it. Will get Churns instead, but Foxy's just out through concrete, and that's Uber for nothing really coming through. It's Uber for the point.
But they drop 3, including Spaghetti. Gets sniped out by Brian. Buko gets bombed out by
Look at
Rain.
Took is a monster on this crate right here. Gonna help clean up too. He's on an 8K, by the way. Helping cleaning up. That's a 9K. Will it be 10? We've seen a couple 9s so far. No one's hit the 10. It might be the heavy of all classes. Someone feed him a kill. Tiger, feed him the kill.
Someone going for the deep. No, just got bumped. Could be 10.
10.
It is 10.
10K, and there's
Perfect 10. Uber popped out
Make it
on
11.
point. Make it 11. Yeah, even 1 for just good measure right there. 3-1 coming through. I mean, I don't hate, dropping players to keep your meta alive, right? You're going to need to keep Uber at if you want to pull up a long hold like that.
When enemy team doesn't have heals, you cannot back out all your support and leave the players in out to dry and expect to keep point, because you're on product, you don't have spawn advantage. Enemy team gets back and keeps pushing. You have to hold space. With no space, you might as well not even be there.
Exactly. As Brian on Cliff finds Jackix right off the bat, it's a meat grind. The mini may be the only thing that RR is able to pick up on this mid. J-Eazy will sadly fall, but Maxi getting chased out all the way to spawn. And that is a bloody, bloody mid right there. Rain even in the spawn exit onto grass. Just shooting some rockets in to get some free chip damage. The forward hold already set up. Spaghetti did live, so the Uber's right there is maybe the silver lining here if you're RR, but things not looking good for them.
Yeah, Dumb Kid's gonna be doing this forward hold. They have everyone available to kind of hold space. Tiger going for a sniper kill here, but does get seen, so will likely just go down here. Ubers do get popped up on the concrete side. Walkout doesn't really get much for the side of RR. They do find one onto Rain, but other than that, they're just trying to get whatever they can. Took comes in, helps get the cleanup onto Jack-X. Doming is heavy opposition, as it's gonna be rotation to Cliffside from RR here.
After 1 round, wow. No 1 round in a mid or so. Some headshots ringing out right now, but
What happened to Jerry?
The Cliff breakout is good for RR. Starting to get set up there. They've even got Buko now rotating back and forth, dropping down onto Porch, taking shots, not finding anything though. Humphrey though does find Crump. Gonna probably be the big kill right now, but Took on their grass finds 2. J-Eazy makes it 3 onto Jerry. Immediate Tommy 2-tap with the ambi onto Cat.
Oh my god,
Making
it's Chin
another
too!
one to Chin!
Keep peeking, keep peeking, peek him. Oh, yeah, the mini sentry gets him. The only thing that can take him and down.
Can't headshot that.
Yeah, can't headshot that. No head on that one. As now 100% legal for Spaghetti and RR. They've been held to 0 seconds for so long in these rounds. Maxi does get 2 on the entry, but they don't have any route onto Foxy here, so it's going to be a perfect late Uber, and Spaghetti's just too far forward for their own good. Gonna go down. Free Uber coming out here from Dumb Kids, looking to get all this cleanup, keep their players alive. They are going to lose 4 though, and these are long spawn timers, so RR definitely want to get back in on this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're just over, almost 2 minutes off the clock right here, but if they cap, things are we've seen bigger round comebacks here. Foxy did take some damage as well. May need to be a little bit more cautious, but ultimately,
They're just getting headshot though.
Yeah.
The headshot plus bomb from Jerry going to take down Brian, and that should be the difference maker. Fuzzy goes down, can't reflect everything. There's Taiga in for cleanup, and Fox is dead on the back out. Okay, so this is exactly what RR needed to get their comeback going. You do not let this engineer walk at your medic, correct? Yes. Okay.
And I mean, I'm just thinking about how we finally see some good coordinated pressure coming out of RR, and Taiga immediately finds too, right? Like, you know, you get the sniper, you start putting pressure in, and then it just snowballs so quickly.
Headshot immediate from Jay-Z onto that scout, too scared. 300 health, and headshot through that one.
Yep, just, and gave Cat with the razzle-dazzle there too, while we're at it, into the immediate headshot. But the fight now breaking back out on point, lots of concrete pressure.
Jerry gets destroyed in the air.
Taiga's outside Foxy, that's going to be the big one. Spaghetti now probably looking for some desperation. Soccer,
they're 4 up! Guys, you have Uber, you're 4 up, you can't use the round.
They got it, yeah, they got it just use on this guy. They're going to pick up
what you want, though.
Look at Lucky! Just stalling off point.
No, Maxi played that well, but there's no more Uber left.
The arrow on the Lucky keeps him alive! Oh, finally goes down. Oh, that was such Chad behavior. Able to keep that point going. I love it.
Yeah, Spawn's now in favor of RR. They do have a medic alive, so they are going to try and walk out on the contest. They've gotten a minute off the clock, so the comeback has started, and they are going to be able to cap this one up with but big fadeaway rocket from Rain cleans up too. It can't get reflected, and the floodgates should open for DK.
In the middle of it, or Foxy, excuse me, in the middle of it.
But the Bear, when is there a conch on product? Rain's building that one up. Don't need no gunboats. Some Etny soldier coming in, but that's normally battalions, though. Either way, building that one up is going to help them get all the cleanup they need.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, they lose Foxy, but they've got the conch aura. Who needs a medic with that?
The
launch forward,
the
get
conch
your
is
own
the heals
healing.
You need, yeah.
Look, I need a lucky cam right now in the cliff spawn on the big flank coming in from behind Spaghetti.
Dead at 90. Yep, dead at 90. It's done.
Already dead. Terms finds Buko on his grand adventure. Poseidon gonna be next. Tap time coming through, but it's at the cost of all of the lives on red.
Scout.
We got just
a spy.
Supposed to run into the pipe. Trumps clean him up one at a time, and that will be game 4-1 in favor of good kids. I see that dumb kids right now.
Not the
I
good
don't even know where I'm getting that from, but really, really dominating performance. I mean, I think when we saw what Buko was doing in the first round, that was kind of what we were looking at when we were looking at the matches to cast this, but I just don't think the rest of the team really had it in them to compete.
Yeah, I mentioned at the top of the show, like, Project is the map where if your sniper has one crazy round where either they hit every shot or they get ignored for some reason or another, then you can win it even as underdogs, and that's pretty much what happened. They got one round. Maxi tying top frag on that one at the end. We saw him get a lot of cleanup. 500 damage on Scout, impressive, but as you can see, no one else on the team even positive, I think? Yeah, no one positive.
Yeah, which I mean, gonna happen. That was a pretty brutal second half. It felt like, you know, there was at least some momentum in that round 3 right there, but really most of that was gone.
Tuka's 21 and 3 deaths on heavy. He bottom death the server on heavy.
Yeah, I mean, Buko still managed to find a couple med picks at the end there, but yeah, not even really mattering too much right there. Just outclassed, really. I mean, I felt there was a combo diff on paper, right? But didn't think it would play out to be that big, frankly.
I mean, I think the combo diff was very noticeable. It's not the thing you notice because one player just starts killing them all unless your name is Took in that one round, right? Actually top fragged the match. That's pretty funny. But it mainly was just from RR, right? I saw them on mid fights get pushed back from like a bunch of pressure coming in from all angles, right? Like Crump was doing tons of work, Took was getting pressure, Rain was always jumping in, being annoying, Jay-Z, speaking of annoying, that ambassador just railed off so many headshots that game. It felt like RR didn't have a route in, and then once they were pushed out, they could never find a way in.
Yeah, and further, it felt like they well, I just noticed over the match, Brian did exactly 11,111 damage, which is pretty neat. but they literally only had Buko as a win con, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was the only one.
And credit to DK, right? They managed to identify that really early, shut it down, and there just wasn't, I don't think, enough adaptation in reverse out of RR, nor do I think they had the ability to play through anyone else.
Yeah, I
This.
mentioned at halftime like the whole invite players autopiloting, right? And I don't want to say like it's a pure autopilot as like, oh, they just aren't playing the game. It just feels like RR are not prepared to deal with like the combination of the raw DM and the veteran decision making that Dumb Kids has. Because in round one, where Buko kills everything, Jerry has space, Humphrey isn't getting sniped 5 times in a round because enemy sniper is always dead. It felt like they're thinking, oh, we can win, we just keep doing what we're doing, and then we got it. And then they got adapted into, Buko got shut down, and then no one else knew what to do, kind of. Humphrey kept playing the same way. He was now getting headshot. It just was not working.
And I mean, really, if you look at a class comparison, right? A surprising amount of people on RR, I think, and I mean, you can argue, the quality of stats, right? But Scout, Soldier, NG, Med, Sniper, all pretty much dead even, right? Yes, yeah. Maxi's got some more deaths than Poseidon, but it really does come down to the combo, I feel like, here, more than anything, where, yes, Buko has one big round, yes, Brian has one big round. Ultimately, they're not, other than the one round each of them had where I think they really popped off, you weren't seeing too much insane performances from them, just steady, pretty steady, contributions. It just felt like the combo was the breaking point for most of the game.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I think if you want to do direct class comparison, the biggest diff in the server was easily Jay-Z versus Taiga. Like, the only times we were calling Taiga's name was when he was getting a important backstab in a time where, like, people were distracted by his team. He wasn't making things happen by himself. Jay-Z, on the other hand, was being a total menace to the enemy team permanently. Anytime Buko scoped in past that first round, boom, headshot, have to unscope, go look for that spy. Anytime anyone was chasing him, get a backstab, do some damage with that ambi, just be obnoxious, draw people towards you. Jay-Z was playing like a one-man army on product, which is how you can play if you're an experienced high-invite spy who knows his limits, right? Who's playing ambi Deadringer on product, no invisible watch, no cloak and dagger, none of that. Just running around and fighting the enemy team at every opportunity to make space. It's the type of performance that you see from a veteran spy who knows exactly what the class can do.
The other thing that I do want to say as a counter to that, right, is that part of that, the ability for Jay-Z to be so successful there ties right into RR only having one win con. If RR's combo is more of a factor here, right, what Jay-Z's doing is basically opting for consistent value over those big picks, right? And in a world where Humphrey, I think, Cham and Jack X are competing on a little bit more even footing, right? That value that we saw Jay-Z getting is good, but wouldn't be as good because Taiga's maybe doing a little bit more all or nothing, right? But if Taiga's able to find one of those combo picks, things swing way back in favor of RR.
It's playing to your win condition, right? He knows for a fact that if he just keeps Buko down, Brian will kill everything. If he plays distraction, Poseidon will get to walk forward, Tuke will get to walk forward. He knows he has winning teammates elsewhere, so he plays towards them, which is just good play. That's just how you should play a competitive video game.
100%. That's exactly what you should be doing because Buko is that only win con. So in a world, right, where there's more threats, you may have seen Jay-Z do more in terms of trying to find those backstabs onto combo, right? But he doesn't need to because he knows that so long as he shuts down Buko, that's it. That's their only possible win con. That's all you need to do. You don't need to bother risking backstabs when you can just sit in the back, ambi chip the sniper, and basically guarantee your win.
Yep, that's about it. Dumb Kids with a 4-1 win over RR. We'll see if that one match point comes into play at any point. I'm sure if Dumb Kids make it through the season unscathed, right, as the top seed, or they, sweep everyone else, the 1 point RR got is definitely, something to look for because that can be a tiebreaker.
Yep, I will say what's interesting, I think, of the other matches thus far is that we had BBC against. I'm gonna need to double check the team names right now. I said good kids before because we have dumb kids and good news. So BBC is playing Good News, who I think a lot of people had Good News on paper. BBC pulled out the first 2 rounds there, which I think is on the surprising side when you see names like Dot Wet, Deleted Taters, Eerie, Melon, Flu Walrus all on the side of Good News. That said, Good News then did come back, tie it back up. So that's sitting at 2-2 right now. So something interesting to
I wonder
watch.
if anyone's streaming that one.
If they are, I think we'll see Dolphin probably host them quite soon. I think that's gonna about do it for us here tonight. So Zach, any closing words?
No, that was a very telling match, honestly. That, to me, told me exactly the level that dumb kids are playing at and the level that people have to catch up to, because everyone played lights out. What you like to see out of a team, vying for obviously first seed, championship, whatever, is the ability to adapt when they're challenged. Because sometimes you'll see a team roll through and not get challenged, and then someone pulls something out that's unexpected and they'll stutter a bit. But here they immediately responded to a team that has a major threat in one area and answered it very quickly. So 4-0, like basically 4-0 once they realized the game they had to play. And I think that's very telling of a team that is going to run the season in some way or another. But other than that, I don't got much. Exclamation point merch for RGL shop. I got some cool stuff up there right now. New merch collection at some point? I think
it came out recently. Yeah, I know they've got the full map collection out. So any of the map related merch that they've put out in the past, I think is all out right now, which is awesome because I think those are consistently some of the best things in the shop. So check that out when you get the chance. Dolphin, we got any sixes this week? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Invite 6 is the season on the smaller side. If you've seen any of those games, we've been able to see that, much tighter in terms of the skill range of Invite this season, I think. Obviously, you're still looking some of the usual suspects up top, but only 6 teams fighting for 4 spots, so all of those matches really going to matter. And we've already had a couple upsets into the young season thus far, so always good to check those out. Might see me, might see TC, might see Rumpus. We got a whole cast of casters coming in. So that'll do it for us, though. So thank you for watching. Congrats to DK on their win, and we'll see you next week.